Hi guys, I am Muchekwa and I'm back with Maths XYZ, and today I will be taking you through parabola functions. Parabola functions. The function that we'll be dealing with today is in the standard form of f at x. It's equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. From this equation, what you have to take into consideration is a, of which a determines the shape of the graph. So if a is greater than 0, then the shape of the graph that we will have will be like a smiley face. And if a is less than 0, then the shape of the graph will be a convex, of which it will be like a set face. The set face, I mean to say. And another thing that you have to take into consideration is c, which is the y-intercept, is the y-intercept of the graph. Another thing that you have to always take into consideration is the turning point TP, of which the x coordinate of the turning point is found by x is equals to negative b divided by 2a, of which the b here is the b from the equation, and the a there is also the a from the equation. After finding the x coordinate of the turning point, what you do, you substitute the x coordinate that you found into the original equation of f and x to get the y coordinate of the turning point. So the turning point, you find the x-intercept by using the equation, by using this formula, and after that you substitute the x-intercept that you found into the original equation so that you can get the y-intercept. Another thing, when you are drawing a graph of a parabola, you must always remember that you must also find the y-intercept. You must also find the y-intercept by making x is equals to 0. And another thing that you have to do is to find x-intercept by making y is equals to 0 as well. So with the graph of parabola, you should also know that it does not have asymptote like other graphs. So let's just do a quick recap. The graph that we'll be dealing with today is that the standard form of f at x is equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. And also, if a is greater than 0, we know that our graph will be looking upward, and if a is less than 0, then the graph will be looking downward. And also, you must also take into consideration the c, which stands for it's the y-intercept of the graph. And also, to get the coordinate of the turning point, to find the x coordinate of the turning point, x equals to negative b divided by 2a, of which the b is this one from the equation, and the a is also from the equation. After finding the x-intercept of the turning point, you substitute that x into this original equation so that you can get the y-intercept of the turning point. And then another thing that you must do is to find the y-intercept by making x is equals to 0, and also to find x-intercept by making y is equals to 0. So let's just look at an example on how do we apply this equation. Let's look at equation f at x. F at x is equals to x squared minus 6x plus 5. So by just looking at an equation, we already know that a is greater than 0. That means that our graph will be looking upward. Then another thing that we have to do is that the c, our y-intercept, is equals to 5. And another thing that we do is the turning point. Remember the turning point, to find the x-intercept or the x coordinate of the turning point, x equals to negative b divided by 2a, of which the b from the equation is negative 6, and into 2a is equals to 1. That means that it will be 3. So we already have the x coordinate of the turning point. What we do now is to substitute 3 into this equation so that we can get the y-intercept of the turning point. All right, substituting f at 3 is equals to 3 squared minus 6 into 3 plus 5. This will give us 9 minus 18 plus 5. So 9 plus 5, 9 plus 18, it will give us 14 minus 18, of which the answer will be -4. So the coordinate of the turning point, it will be 3 is to -4. So from here, we calculate the y-intercept by making x is equals to 0. So from that equation, f at 0, it will be 0 squared minus 6 into 0 plus 5, of which it will give us 5. So can you see that the f at, by finding the y-intercept is equals to, it will always be equals to c, which is 5. Alright, so the coordinate of that, it will be 0 is to 5. Then from here we find the x-intercept by making y is equals to 0. So it will be 0 is equals to 0, it will be equals to x squared minus 6x plus 5. And from here we factorizing, it will be x minus 5x minus 1 is equals to 0, of which from there we know that x will be equals to 5 and x will also be equals to 1. So the coordinate of the x-intercept will be 5 is to 0 and also 1 is to 0. So what we found here, we can now actually draw the graph. We already know that our graph should be looking up, having a smiley face, and our y-intercept is equals to 5. Our turning point, we found it by saying x. The x coordinate is -b divided by 2a, of which we got 3. And we substitute that 3 into the original equation so that we can get the y coordinate of the turning point, of which the turning point coordinates is 3 is to -4. Then we found the y-intercept by making x is equals to 0, of which we got 5, and we already know that c is our y-intercept. So c, and by making x equals to 0, will always give us the same answer. Then we found the x-intercept by making y is equals to 0, of which we got x is equals to 5 and y is, and also x is equals to 1. So we have two point of x, we have two x-intercept, which is x equals to 5 and x is equals to 1. Then let me just erase from this side. So the points that we have the x-intercept, which is 5 is to 0 and also 1 is to 0. And another point that we have the turning point, which is 3 is to -4. This is the turning point. And also we have the y-intercept, which is 0 is to 5. Okay, so we can now draw the graph. We can now draw the graph. The graph will have sorry, let me just make it straight right there. Alright, you must always remember to name your axis. So this is the x-axis and this one is the y-axis. This is positive, this is positive, this is negative, and this is also negative. So this is our origin, which is 0 is to 0. And this is 1. This is this is 2. Okay, let me just extend this a bit. Okay, this will be 2 there. This is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. So this one is our x-axis, positive x-axis. Then from here we'll have -1, -2, -3, and -4. Let me just extend it again as well this side. This is -4 there. Alright, and another thing that we have to do is to have this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. It's negative, it's negative, it's negative, and it's negative because this is our negative y-axis, this is our negative x-axis. Then this one is our positive 1, which is 2. This is 3. Okay, I need also to extend this part here. So let me just let this here. That was 1 is to 0 and also 0 is to 5. Okay. Then we have the space. Let me just erase that as well. So this one will be 4, this one will be 5. So we start with 5 is to 0, which is the point, our point is there. And another point is 3 is to negative 4. This is 3, this is negative 4. So just use a ruler to get that point. It will be dot dot. I will just trace it by using dots, and also trace it there by using dots as well. So our point will be there. So this is our turning point. This is the point where the graph will be turning from. Then we have 1 is to 0, which is here. We have 1 is to 0, which is here. And we also have 0 is to 5. 0 is to 5, and we have already drawn it. Then our 1 is to 0 is this one here. 5 is to 0. Then our graph will come here. It will turn here. It will go up there, and it will also be going to the x-intercept that side. It's just that it's not drawn to scale and it doesn't really look good, but this is the turning point. This is the x-intercept, which is 1 is to 0, and this is the x-intercept again, which is 5 is to 0, and this is our y-intercept, which is 0 is to 5, I meant to say. This is 0 is to 5. Okay, so from this graph that we have, remember when you draw a graph, you must always remember to name your axis. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. Then this is the first point that we have, which is our x-intercept. It's 5 is to 0, and then we have the point there, and we also have our turning point, which is 3 is to negative 4, which is right there. It's 3 is to negative 4. And our another x-intercept that we have, it's 1 is to 0, and our y-intercept is 0 is to 5. So now we just join out the we join the points, and we get a graph like that. So it's actually now confirmed that our a is greater than 0, because the graph is looking upward. It's looking up, and it's having a smiley face. It's just that the graph is not really drawn to scale, but this is just a rough sketch of how it will look like. All right. Thank you guys. Remember to subscribe to Maths XYZ, and in our next session we will be doing hyperbola graphs. Thank you.